Greetings! Welcome to Saint of the Week, the show where we choose one saint's feast day from this week and discuss their lives and their impact on the church. The saint for this week is St. Thomas More. His feast day is June 22nd, this Thursday.
Thomas was born in London, England on February 7, 1478. He was well educated and studied to become a lawyer. He seriously considered becoming a monk, but eventually chose to remain a lawyer, although he pursued penitential practices for the rest of his life, such as wearing a hair shirt beneath his clothing.
In 1505, Thomas married his first wife, Jane Colt, and they had 4 children together. Only 6 years later, however, Jane died, and Thomas remarried to a rich widow named Alice Harper Middleton. They had no children together, although Thomas acted as a father to Alice's daughter from her previous marriage.
Thomas's legal and political career was very successful. He became secretary and personal advisor to King Henry VIII, and eventually became Lord Chancellor in 1529. He worked with speed and precision at his new position, and he was a trusted and loyal servant of the king.
Thomas was vehemently opposed to the Protestant Reformation and actively worked against it. When King Henry claimed himself to be the head of the Church of England, Thomas opposed him, holding tenaciously to his belief that the Pope and the Pope alone was the head of the Church on earth. He also opposed Henry's annulment with his wife, Catherine of Aragon.
In 1532, as all of this was going on, Thomas felt that he could not work for the king when he was so opposed to everything Henry was doing, and so he resigned, claiming that his health was failing. This was not the end of friction between Thomas and the king, however.
A year later, in 1533, Thomas refused to attend the coronation of Anne Boleyn, Henry's new wife. This was technically not treasonous, as Thomas had sent the king a letter of congratulations, but his refusal was seen as an insult to the queen, and Henry was not pleased. He and Thomas' enemies worked to make charges against him.
A variety of charges were made against Thomas, such as accepting bribes and conspiring with a nun who had prophesied against the king. But when he was questioned about them, his respectful, honest answers quickly refuted the accusations. The final blow came when he refused to sign an oath stating King Henry as the head of the church and accepting the legitimacy of Henry's self-granted annulment from Catherine.
Thomas was put on trial on July 1st, 1535, and tried before a panel of judges that included the Lord Chancellor that had succeeded him, as well as Anne Boleyn's father, brother, and uncle. Thomas defended himself with honesty and respect, but nevertheless he was convicted of treason and sentenced to be hanged, drawn, and quartered. King Henry, in a supposed act of mercy to his former servant, lessened the punishment to a simple beheading.
5 days later, on July 6, 1535, Thomas's execution took place. His last words were, "I die the king's good servant, but God's first." He is the patron saint of lawyers, civil servants, court clerks, politicians, public servants, adopted children, and difficult marriages.
Thomas More was a man of loyalty, integrity, and honesty. He served the king faithfully, but drew the line when it came to matters of the church, and he refused to deny his beliefs, no matter the consequences. He was known to all as an intelligent scholar, honorable gentleman, devoted father, and faithful Catholic.
St. Thomas More, pray for us. Our honorable mentions for this week are
Venerable Matt Talbot, St. Romuald, St. Paulinus of Nola, St. Aloysius Gonzaga, St. John Fisher, and St. John the Baptist.
And of course, there are thousands of other saints who undoubtedly have their feast days this week, but there are so many of them that there is no way we could list them all here.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode of Saint of the Week. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Peace be to you.